What's up, team?
What's up, player? How you doing?
And it's been one of them days. One of them days.
Dylan.
Hashtag broker layover.
Yeah, broker, dude. Hey, I'm gonna make a meme about that, dude. So you need to tell Dylan what a broker layover is.
A broker
Yeah, I'm
layover is
curious.
essentially anytime a carrier gives you some bullshit and gives you the old runaround, so you waste my time. That is broker layover. If you say you're going to deliver a load that day and bust my balls, then every hour upon the hour that I have to sit at, I can't leave my desk until the load's delivered. So if there's layover, $150 an hour. And anytime I get up out of my chair, that's an extra $20 for getting out of my truck.
Listen to this guy,
There
Yeah,
you go.
man. We'll play games all day.
man. You're a dingleberry. Um, so I mean, your day I know was stressful with what you had going on. You told me about that shit earlier. So my day was, I don't know, my day was all right. It was chill. Dylan, how was your day?
Million things.
Yeah.
Million things. Yeah, I've been covering for Kyle for the past 3 weeks. So
Oh, that's right, because he is just all around the world.
yeah. So yeah, it's been fun, but it's coming to a wrap. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, no, it's been busy. I think we set up like 5 customers today, couple yesterday. It's been busy, but good. And like with his customers, there's always a few nuances that are, a little bit tricky. And
Yeah.
yeah, so, but yeah, no, overall good. It was, we had a full team today on the account management side, which was nice. Haven't had a full team in like, seems like a couple of weeks now. So, I was able to focus on a little bit more customer stuff and onboarding, and yeah, so it was good. But yeah, busy, busy, busy. Yeah, yeah, just lots of stuff going on. Taylor's getting busy, so I've been helping him with a few of his customers, and
I know. I've been seeing y'all in huddles a lot past few days.
yeah, it's been a lot. So yeah, no, I'm tired, but yeah, no, it's good.
That's good, bro. That's good. You and I don't get to talk as much, man. So it's
I
good to see
know.
you. Good to.
I know I'm like inundated with my team and their stuff and Kyle's customers, and now like trying to do like all the stuff that Kyle does, you know what I mean? And it's like, God, this like I went on lunch today, tried to go eat, and I was like halfway through eating, and I was like, like I think I had like 5 or 6 different people text messaging me, and it's like all Kyle's people. 3 of them were actually like, dude, all the customers that we set up this week were all referrals.
Yeah.
So, like a couple of them, like I had talked to this guy, Noah, and he shipped stuff out of Georgia. Had this other guy, Muhammad, call me. He's like, hey, talk to Noah. He said, like, you're the man. And I was like, oh, would you like talk to Kyle? He's like, no, told him to talk to Dylan. I was like, oh no. Like, and he was like, yeah, like, like sign us up. And I was like, cool, man, we'll do it. And then like, dude, another one was like, hey man, my name is blah, blah, blah. And like Muhammad referred me. And I was like, I haven't even moved a load for Muhammad yet. Like,
That's the way it works in Kyle's world, though. Xavier, what's up? Dylan, Xavier was one of the people that got us with V Hub. He used to work with V Hub, man, and
oh, nice.
yeah. He's still talk. We still talk, and he does. We try to do some stuff together. But Xavier, what's up, man? It's good to see you, my brother. Um, so, Dill, before we get into talking about customer success and service,
Yep.
I always do like a little quick news thing, man. Just a topic I find that I think is interesting in the industry, and then we just go from there, man. So I'm going to do that real quick, and we will move on to other shit. So today's topic is obviously you see it's about the speed limiter, limiting the speed for big trucks to go. Canada has already had this for since 2018, it says, and if you haven't been keeping up with the news in the industry, specifically on the carrier side, there is some people trying to push a bill through to limit the speed on trucks in the United States. I haven't seen anything that says what speed they want that to be, but it is in the works. And, of course, there's trucking groups that are fighting against it, but there are also some trucking organizations that are fighting for it. And I mean, personally, I have to say that I am all for limiting truck speed. I think that 65 miles an hour is a little low, which is what Canada has theirs at, because pretty much every company in America, big companies, their trucks do 65. So if you've got 4 million trucks on the road and they all do 65, that's going to be one hell of a fucking passing zone right there, man. So I personally say that 70 is good. I would even say maybe 68, and part of the reason for that is mainly it's safety. These tires on these trucks, predominantly the steer tires, the max rating for these things are 70 miles an hour. I mean, it's right there on the sidewall. Some of them are 75, but a majority of them are 70 miles an hour. And a big reason for that is also because most tires on the road now are recaps. So, A, there's a speed thing. B, everybody complains about fuel, but, you want to drive 75 fucking miles an hour up and down the highway with 40,000 pounds, and they complain to me that you get five miles a gallon. So, even my own truck, I tell them, dude, like, keep that shit below 70. Like, you don't pay this fuel bill. I will take this out of your check if you keep raising my fuel bill. And so there's the other thing. And to touch back on the safety, I just don't see a reason for 80,000 pounds of steel to be going down the road at over 70 miles an hour. It just, it doesn't make sense to me. Already, that truck at 65 takes almost or about a football field to stop. And, we just want to add 10 more miles an hour to that. So yeah, there's my take on it, but everybody's got their own opinion. I am just trying to bring it to people's attention that may not have heard about it and seen the stuff, in the journalism that's out there, or maybe on a YouTube or other podcast or something that you watch. So, if you want to get involved with it, whether you want to fight it or be for it, you could go and search it up online. I'm sure you could Google it and, see the organizations that are for it and against it, and maybe get on board with that and try to do your little part. But as we all know, whatever the government wants to do, the government's going to do. So best of luck with that.
I mean, also just to touch on that, like, so in California, truck speed limits are 55.
Yeah.
We've all done intra-California loads recently, I'm sure. Like, do you have any issues with your transit time? Like, no. Did your driver complain about it? No. You know what I mean? It's like, so, it's really, it's like, and like you're saying, saves fuel, emissions, wear and tear on the truck, the whole nine. So, like, yeah, it's anybody that's complaining about, I get 5 miles. Yeah, exactly. You're going 70, 75 down the highway and trying to pass people and stuff, like. And then you complain about blown belts and turbos. It's like, yeah. I bet I know what you were doing when you blew that turbo, man. Like, so yeah, no, yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the point about transit time. That's I forgot to make that point, and it is another point that I always make on this. It's my things on this are always the safety, the fuel mileage, and transit time. So something that, and I always say this, I say this a lot, that my trainer taught me, Donnie Powell, that dude taught me so damn much. But he taught me about speed. He's like, man, you go 65 miles an hour. He's like, versus 75 miles an hour. He's like, dude, over a 10-hour day, that may get you 100 miles. And that's if it's nonstop, you don't have anything in your way, so forth, so on. So I know that that can be a lot of miles, but is it worth it for the sake of your fuel and the possible safety risk and the wear and tear, like you said, Dylan? So that's honestly a big thing to me. I even say that in my car when I see people doing like 85, and all they're trying to do is get to Austin, Dylan. How slow of a drive that really is. It's like, dude, you're going to arrive like 3 minutes before me, right?
That's my favorite thing.
Halfway to Austin, man, you're like,
it's worth it
to do 90.
Yes, you're right. Both of you are right, dude. That's right. That stretch, Dylan, between like Austin and Temple, it is
Oh.
like a fucking racetrack, man.
Oh, dude, it's like, dude, halfway you're like, wait, where am I? Did I just leave? Did I leave an hour ago? Where am I? It still looks the same. Like
Oh
it's
man, that's good shit, dude.
yeah.
So yeah, there's my little take on it, Dylan. Those were some real good points too, man. And I really think that we should, I mean, it can help a lot. And, we really talk about safety a lot in this industry, and people talk about maintenance and fuel mileage and so forth and so on. And, this, as the saying goes, speed kills. And that shit is true in every sense. And I also want to end with, and touch on something you said, Dylan, about the wear and tear. Diesel engines are not race car engines. They're torque monsters. They're not made for you to hot rod and do 80 and 85 miles an hour or 75 miles an hour, whatever your truck does. Like, they're truly not made to do that on a consistent basis. It's just like in a regular car. Just because it'll do 120 doesn't mean you do 120 everywhere you go.
It's not a boat.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
there's our part on that, our little bit for the day. And I will post that link in all the video things. So if y'all want to go and look at it, then you can. So let's get on to Dylan. Dylan and I worked together at Synergy Freight. He also lived here in Texas for a short time, so we had a short but sweet relationship.
Yeah, no, it was good. Robert's a good guy, and I appreciate you having me on. And I just want me to give like a little background on myself, or how do you want to
Dude,
do this?
yeah, if you would give just give us a little jot about yourself, and roll into what customer success is for us, and obviously some tips for other people.
Yeah, and I would love to answer questions too. As you'll hear, I have a lot of experience, really across the board, but all things 3PL. So I really would like to be able to help anybody in any way, just grow themselves, understand the industry a little bit better, or another side of it. So that's why I'm here today. So a little bit about me. I started in the industry in late 2012, dispatching hot shots basically for a local company based out of Casa Grande, Arizona. They manufacture bumpers in Mexico, bring them over, and then run hot shots for all their deliveries. So I was managing like 8 to 10 drivers really at any given time. Did that for around a year. Had one of my friends reach out, and they worked at a company called Global Trans. They were like, "Hey, like this really sounds a lot like what you're doing, but with a lot more opportunity." So I ended up interviewing with Global Trans in late 2013, ended up starting there in 2014 in a entry-level sales position. Really didn't know much about the 3PL world or anything that really at all to do with it. I really didn't even know that like what I was doing, dispatching hot shots and managing these guys' logbooks, was like anything to do with logistics. I was like, like this is just what this company does, and I'm doing it, and first month there, obviously learned a ton, the shipper side, operations side of things. While I was in training, so you go through 30 days of training, and then you have 30 days on the floor, like sales training, like live action pretty much. Like third day doing like live action sales, I cold called Anheuser-Busch, and basically told the dude I talked to, I was like, "Hey man, like I didn't expect to get you on the phone or like have you call me back or have this conversation. It's like my third day doing sales, And he's like, honestly, what I'm looking for is like honesty and integrity. And like, you just showed me both of those things. So like, I'm going to send you over a list of lanes. You get those over to your MAs, and like, I'll look at them and see where we are." And like, I was just like, holy shit, like this dude's awesome.
But you just went with the old, you got freight, I got trucks.
I mean, not even that, man. I was just like, hey, man, like I'm brand new here, shooting a shot, and like you can shoot me down, or you can like listen to what I have to say. You know what I mean? And I gave him like, you know, the spiel that they give you in training. You know, it's hey, we have 5,000 trucks and 3 million carriers that we work with, and we can do X, Y, and Z. You know, and really just, you know, gave him the salesman speech, right? The newbie in logistics, just shooting a shot. And either way, took the lanes, we quoted him out, sent him back. I didn't hear anything for like 4 months. So like I was still like trying to do sales, ended up trying to do like a little bit on the operation side because I wasn't having a ton of success on the sales side. I onboarded a few LTL clients, had a couple full truckload clients, but like, and I was hitting my sales quotas, doing what I wanted, but like I have very high standards for myself, and I really just wasn't hitting like the goals that I wanted to hit. Ended up 3 or 4 months down the road, I get an email and it says, hey, you're invited to the RFP for Anheuser-Busch, blah, 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 blah. Your contact is Jeff. Contacted Jeff. And I'm like, hey, man, like, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. He's like, yeah. Like, in the meantime, while you guys are doing the RFP, like, here's access to our spot portal. So, you know, I attribute that moment really to, you know, it was a big decision that I had to make. Global Trans basically told me, you know, you're new here. You don't really know sales that well. You don't really know operations that well. So it's going to be tough for you to manage this account on your own, or on the other side, cover all of the freight for this account on your own. So what we want to do is bring this account over to the enterprise department, let you, you know, start working on it there, learn the ins and the outs of it. So took that route, started working in the enterprise department at Global Trans, was assigned to Anheuser-Busch, Freeport McMoran, a few other select enterprise accounts, worked as a support rep on those accounts for 6 or 7 months, learned the ropes of world enterprise, high volume shipments, meaning like one customer doing 600 loads with you a month, and managing, you know, 3 or 4 of those accounts at once. So,
damn it, son.
Yeah, so super high volume. You know, it's a lot of responsibility. So as a support rep, you're really like building loads, setting appointments, dealing with day-to-day contacts. Did that for 6 or 7 months, got my feet wet. Like I was so busy. Like I worked 16-hour days for 6 or 7 months. Got promoted to an account manager within the enterprise department, which was serving as the main point of contact for these Fortune 500 customers, you know, night and day, 365 days a year. If something goes wrong, they're calling me. It's my head that rolls. Along with that came with managing 3 or 4 support reps under me at all times. I did that role at Global Trans for 4 years, 3.5, 4 years. And had really good success with it. My 2 main clients there at the end were, or 3, I guess, Freeport McMoran, US Foods, and Melaleuca Healthcare Company. So, and, you know, I was moving, you know, 500 plus loads a month for each of them. So it was me, and I had 4 support reps at the end, and we were crushing, you know, $10-12 million a year in revenue. No problem. So,
damn, dude, that's crazy. 10 million.
a lot.
Damn.
Super, like the enterprise high volume world it really like got me to where I understood like what customers want, what they don't want, when they want it, and like how to give it to them. Right. So, Global Trans went through a leadership change and a couple acquisitions in 2018. They ended up basically taking operations, sales, and the enterprise team, combining them all together and redistributing accounts, which led to a lot of internal shake. So I ended up leaving. Alyssa, my wife, and we moved to Nashville. I got a job opportunity with a company called Keep Truckin'. At the time, they're now called Motive.
Yeah, I use them for my ELD.
Yeah, so they had an idea in late 2017, 2018 to leverage the ELD data from their drivers in a brokerage setting. Great idea in theory, right? Being able to go to your customer and say, hey, I've got 300 trucks in a 20-mile radius that are all empty looking for loads, and I can send them a rate con electronically to their ELD, right? Yeah. And I can track them the entire, like, what does every customer want, right? Live tracking. Being able to go to somebody and say, I own the ELD. I can pull up 250,000 drivers' locations anywhere in the country and tell you where they are, right? So it was a great idea. I thought so. A bunch of other people thought so as well. So moved to Nashville, was employee number 3 on the brokerage side for Keep Truckin'. So we were standing up a brokerage basically in the dark. We had to hire operations, sales, the whole nine. So we ended up acquiring a company out of Charleston to take their MC and the small book of business that they had. Acquired them. They all moved to Nashville. We started 1 Point Logistics, which was Keep Truckin' freight in a suit, right? Yeah. So Keep Truckin' didn't want to let anybody know what they were doing until they had a viable product to bring to market. Issue was there was pushback from drivers, a few other issues along the way. And so I stood up a customer success team there, which was a little bit different than your typical customer success teams. This one was more sales facing and account management secondly. So it took me a little bit out of my comfort zone. Had to really get back to like the roots of, bringing customers on, but we were able to do it with more of an enterprise mindset. So the customers, like the first customer that we brought on was Anheuser-Busch, because I had an in, knew how to bring them on. And I was like, you know what, like, Keep Truckin', your main investor is Alphabet, Google. Like, I'm going to show these guys that we're not messing around. And like, our first customer is going to be a whale. Brought them on. A couple of my other guys brought on a couple of other large food clients, so on and so forth. We really like took off. Within the first 6 months, we were doing like pacing for $100 million revenue our first year. Keep in mind we had an influx of cash as well, so it was a little bit different than standing up a brokerage without an investor. They definitely gave us a lot of runway with our customers, which was made it a little bit easier. So 1 Point ran for about 2.5 years. They tried to transition into a load board instead of a brokerage. Basically, that's what they were trying to do the entire time. I'm not going to take up all night talking about it, but they wanted to stand up a brokerage to leverage the data in order to start a load board. Didn't really tell anybody that, misled leadership. Misled a lot of people. There ended up being like a mass layoff in February of 2020, and they shut down 1 Point altogether. So
I've never even heard of, man. So
yeah, so it was a lot behind the scenes. You can Google like 1 Point Logistics, and there'll be a few FreightWaves articles on there talking about it. But yeah, there was like 275 people laid off in a Google chat, so that was fun.
Damn. Cold-hearted Google chat.
That was COVID times though, man. I was driving COVID long.
Yeah, so I that got me to COVID, and I really had a bad taste in my mouth from the whole logistics just experience over the past like 8 years. Right, it was putting my heart and soul into my customers at Global Trans, having them ripped away from me, standing up a brokerage. Being employee number 3, hiring people, firing people, demoing software, bringing on customers that I had been clients, of mine for years previous, and then having to stop shipping with them, overnight because they decided to, go a different route. Right. So jeopardized a lot of my industry relationships, just that type of thing. So it was rough. And, I was going to take a hiatus, go to Europe, travel for a little bit. COVID ruined those plans, which led to me. I was actually interviewing at Cisco, not the food company, but the technology company. And I was ready to take a position there, get out of logistics altogether. One of my friends from Global Trans actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, I'm working with this guy, Kyle. He's doing this on his own, no investors." And I was just like, man, like, I'm not trying to get back into logistics and do the whole, dance again. And he's like, "You got to talk to him." And I was like, "All right, man, I'll talk to him." And talked to Kyle. I think we talked for 2.5 hours, picked each other's brains, asked me, if I was able to build a brokerage my way, how would I do it? And, it was basically into the conversation. He was like, "Let's do it. Like, your way. And like, I'll listen to your ideas. Like, if you listen to mine, and let's create a place where, it's not the same as all these other 3PLs out there." And that was August of 2000. So 3 years later, here we are. When we started Synergy, when I started at Synergy, Kyle was 5 months in, and we were doing, not a lot, maybe $1 million a year in revenue, maybe. It was not a lot, 800,000.
It's
3
good
years.
for a small little thing, though.
Yeah, 3 years. We'll do 25 million this year in revenue, probably.
I know, man. We're doing good, brother.
Hey, man, for no investors, done on our own with our own funds, and it's
our own way.
It's a testament to all the hard work that we've all done. That's for sure. But yeah, no, it's an awesome place. Not to say that we don't have our rough days. We do. It's logistics. It's a tough industry. Like I was just talking about it. It's grueling. There's days where there's those 14, 15, 16-hour days, and I've been living those days. Those days here, it's 9 p.m. my time. I sent my first message this morning at 6. I'm going on a 15-hour day today. So it doesn't get easier or shorter as the days goes on. If you're continuing to grow, there's definitely room within this industry for complacency and the thumb twiddlers at the desk, or the Excel sheet heroes, as I call them, that, they pull up the Excel sheet as soon as you walk behind their computer and start scrolling, and I'm super busy doing something. So, but yeah, no, it's a fun industry. We make it fun. It's definitely a lot better now, like, given the place that we are and the group of guys that we have working with. And, but yeah, man, like, I really want to, I've been in this, sorry, itchy nose. I've been in this world for 10, 11, 12 years now. So, I know some of you guys are just getting going or trying to find your feet within the space. And I would love just to be able to help you guys or answer any questions that you might have. If you're having any, roadblocks with your customers currently, or trouble breaking through with a new customer, or, whatever it might be. I'd really like to help you guys out and really open up the forum to answer questions.
So, well, here's my thing, man. Can you go over some of the stuff that we do, Dylan, for customer success, like what that means to us, or, and what exactly your job now is with Synergy?
Yeah. So customer success really comes down to 3 things: service, communication, and solutions. As corny as it sounds, those are like my team's 3 pillars of success. And like, it sounds super corny and weird, but like, I'm telling you guys, like I've lived by those three things since the person that told me this is going to be corny, but I'm going to tell you the three things that if you focus on these, like you will be successful within the industry. And I was like, all right, man, like give it to me. And he's like, service, communication, and on solutions. And it's like, all right, like, yes, but like, what does that mean? Right. So, like, when we say service, we mean coming through, like, following through with what you say that you're going to do, setting the correct expectations with your customer. So, if that's an LTL shipment, you know, explaining to them that if they ask transit, hey, how long is this going to take? You know, it's LTL. They're telling me it's going to take 2 or 3 days estimate, you know, so like let's factor worst case 4. And they're going to, customer asks, you know, hey, why? It's like, explain to them, you know, LTL works on a hub and spoke model. So if your pickup is in Atlanta, you know, Saya is going to pick up with their Atlanta terminal. They're going to send a local driver out. He's going to pick up sometime in the afternoon, hopefully, if the pickup before him doesn't put any extra pallets on his truck and cause that driver to not be able to make your pickup. But like, these are the things that if you explain to your customer beforehand and then they happen, they're like, that dude knows what he's talking about, you know, not fuck that carrier. Like, where are they? Dylan told me he was going to pick up today. It's just like, Dylan called it, like that guy, you know, and that's the difference of setting the expectation versus just being somebody relaying information saying 2 or 3 days, you know, and then it doesn't show up on day 3 and they're like, what the fuck? Like,
dude, it's so funny. It's so funny seeing her back there.
Yeah, you're right.
Tell her I said hi.
Robert says hello.
But anyway, keep going, brother.
Yeah. So and so like when I say service, like that's following through with what you say that you're gonna do. You know, if a lot of people think service is, you know, no fail, no fail, no fail, but it doesn't have to be. Yes, it does mean that, but it doesn't have to be just that. It's understanding your customer's business, understanding, hey, like this load, you know, yes, we're picking up Tuesday for Thursday, but they really don't need it until Friday and it won't impact anything. So if we find a better option that works for us, it's a better carrier to deliver Friday. I know that that's going to be okay. And you can talk to your customer beforehand, communicate that and say, hey, you know, X, Y, and I know you don't need this until Friday. And they're going to be like, hey, so yeah, Barry, we can, Robert, is there like a way to list these questions?
What do you mean list them, brother?
I'm just going to forget about them. All right, let's talk about that. So where are you having trouble, Barry, breaking through? Are you having trouble getting people on the phone? Do you have existing customers that you're just struggling to get shipments with?
It'll take him a minute to comment back if he's still on.
Yeah, it'll take.
All right, no worries. And then so like that's a lot of the service aspect is really just following through, understanding your customer's business, and you know, it's doing what you say you're going to do. Communication. If there are problems, communicating those problems firsthand. You know, a lot of the new guys try to sugarcoat things or make up excuses. You know, truck broke down, he's stuck at a previous delivery, you know, whatever it might be. Being transparent, open with your customers is going to win you so many more brownie points and open up so many more doors to talk to them about these problems happening. Like if you can call your customer and be like, dude, you are never going to believe what this driver just told me. You know what I mean? He's going to be like, give it to me, dude. Like, let's see. You know what I mean? It's rather than telling them, okay, well, he broke down, he's going to be there, you know, and then he doesn't show up and your customer's like, well, what the heck, man? Like you told me he was going to be there and you could have just communicated that and been like, hey, he's given us the runaround. We're going to keep him on it. We're going to look for another truck while this dude's doing that. If we find a better one, we're going to yank that jabroni off of here and put this new guy on, you know? And just communicating problems, communicating, you know, if your shipper tells you something that you think your customer might not know, let them know. You know what I mean? If their service hours change, be like, hey, bro, their service hours change. This could impact our transit in the future if we're not able to load here, X, Y, and Z. And then providing solutions. You know what I mean? You never want to go telling your customer about a problem unless you have a solution. So, end of the day, we've all been there. It's 30 minutes till the shipper closes, haven't been able to get an option, willing to take a $300 or $400 loss, but can't get anything on the phone. You know what I mean? Going to your customer, explain, hopefully having that conversation, 2 or 3 hours before you get to that point. But if it's the end of the day, going to them saying, hey, weren't able to get anything for today, but I can have, a team there first thing in the morning to deliver same day. Delivery won't be impacted. I just wanted to let you know they're going to be thrilled compared to just going to that, hey, I wasn't able to get a truck today. I'm going to try for tomorrow, hopefully, and it's a lot of it is just leveling with these guys. And like, I didn't understand it until it was, I have a C-level executive from US Foods telling me to give it to him straight on, Thanksgiving. And it's like, well, bro, like I can't find a truck,
Yeah.
I've got 2 or 3 people working on it, and they're not my best and my brightest. It's Thanksgiving, and dude, and they start laughing. You know what I mean? They're like, dude, you're so right.
We let all the dummies work today.
Yeah, man. I had a couple customers with my guys today, and they were like, dude, like, what's going on? Like, why isn't this covered yet? And I was like, well, I think the hurricane might have something to do with it. And they're like, totally nonchalantly, you know what I mean? Just like, dude, like this hurricane, like I really think it's impacting us negatively. And they're like, oh, I totally forgot about the hurricane. And it's like, yeah, and like just like those 3 things, man, those are my 3 pillars: service, communication, and solutions. And those 3 things might have slightly different definitions depending on your customers or the vertical that you're in. So if you're handling a steel customer versus a customer that's moving, $500,000 high value shipments, you're going to have different aspects of those things that you're going to need to be doing. But if you can do those 3 things and just stick to them, you're going to be successful. I know that right now it's a tough market out there, Barry, like breaking through on any level with a new customer, an existing customer, trying to gain more freight from them. I think that's where a lot of people miss out as well in this industry is they get a customer, they move a load for them, and they don't exploit that fully, right? That was something that we were great about within the enterprise departments that I've ran before is, looking at, I can use US Foods for an example. Their freight spend yearly was $200 million, right? So like, even if we're moving $20 million for them a year in revenue, that's 10% of their freight spend that we're moving for them. You know what I mean? So like, it's nothing. So if you're moving $5,000 a month for a customer or $6,000 a month for them, find out what they're doing. Find out if they're doing more. Try to capture more of their business. Ask them to give you referrals. People love to give referrals. You know what I mean? Like that's something that people don't capture enough of. And those are easy customers. Those are send a setup packet and a quote, approved, good to go. You know what I mean? And then that's a new customer because they trust you, because it's somebody that they know is referring them and giving you, the pat on the back saying, hey, Pedro's all right. He'll take care of you, and it's a lot less of the trial and error, and that type of stuff. So, that's what I've always told my teams to do is ask for referrals, put it in your email, say, I love referrals. Give me a referral, get 10% off your next shipment. It's worth it. I'm telling you, you're going to get more than 1 shipment from a referral every time. So like, I love referrals, that type of stuff. Ask your customers if it's all right if you contact their receivers. Like it's if unless you're working with some enterprise customer, some guy that doesn't want you to give away the contact info, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to have a problem with you contacting the receivers and seeing if they have any freight for you to move. They trust you to ship it to them and get it there on time. You know what I mean? Why would they mind if you move their stuff too? So, always check with your customer first, make sure you're not going to step on their toes, or the receiver or the shipper, you know what I mean? Vice versa, wherever your customer is, the opposite end, it's a great place to start. These are free leads. If you're looking for lead gen stuff, guys, like commonalities, it's going to be like, I've watched guys roll through lists of in LinkedIn of sports team fan pages. Dude, I've watched people get customers from car forums. Like think of stuff that you guys like, and I guarantee that there's freight moving within it, or people that know people that do. But like, and find a niche and stick with it. Like me, food and beverage was always like reefer stuff. That was always really where I had good success, because I had a secret sauce for like appointment setting and transit times compared to rates and multi-pick, multi-drops. So like that's where I really made my niche, was like multi-pick, multi-drop reefer. Like I can move a 9-pick, 9-drop reefer like no one's business. Oh yeah, like you need a guy to do that, I'm your guy. I did that stuff for 3 years, all day long for US Foods. So
I like multi-picks too, man. Like as a broker and a carrier, like there's good money in a multi-pick, man. A lot of them don't like to do it because of the transit time, but you get like the right set of multi-picks. Like if you drop it like Tractor Supply or Lowe's, man, those are like 30-minute drops, bro. You knock out those bitches.
Mine were not good, man. Mine, we called ours the tour around middle of nowhere. It was literally, dude, no, we would take them from like Michigan through like North Dakota, like South Dakota, Wyoming, and then back down through Utah to deliver in Las Vegas. It was terrible, guys. It was literally the worst. And like, we would sell this to people.
You must have.
It was crazy, and they would make money on it. We would make money on it. Like it was good. So that's kind of where I made my niche, is like on the weird reefer stuff, multi-pick, multi-drop. But yeah, no, it's like, those are the 3 things, man. Like customer success isn't anything crazy. It's like, there's no like, it's customer service on a high level and understanding your client's needs. Like that is what customer success is, in setting expectations from the get-go. Like if you like, it is imperatively important to set expectations with your customers. Like that is how you are going to prevent 99% of your problems, and the 1% of problems that you do have, you're going to be able to talk to them about your customer openly. And like, it just makes life so much easier. Like I'm able to go back to our customers sometimes on rates and get more money just because I explained the situation. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey bro, I quoted this 30 minutes ago, and like, I was so wrong. Like, and they're just like, oh dude, like I'll go talk to my customer. Like, can you call my customer? And I'm just like, yeah, dude, I'll call your customer. Like, no problem. You know what I mean? Because if you can speak to something, it's so much different than just asking for something, right? So I always take a consultative approach. I try to act like I'm in the office with these guys for our customers, and like acting as an extension of them. And also vice versa. Like when there's an issue or there's a problem, and the carrier's in the right, it's holding your customer accountable. And like, a lot of people aren't good at that, but being able to do that is a craft, and it goes right back to those 3 things: service, communication, and solutions, right? If you can go back to them and tell them, hey man, like this carrier deserves X, Y, and Z, and like, this is why. And they're like, if you explain it correctly, their answer should be like, all right, I understand. And you really shouldn't be much combat from their side. So, yeah, there's just little things that I've picked up and learned over the years, and hopefully those are a few of them that help you guys, and just, you're able to, think, I'm going through this, and if I'm able to provide, communicate the problem, provide a solution. That's
And I will say, Dylan, I will be a testament to everything that you're saying, because I've only been in brokering since, I don't know, May or something, 2020, I don't know, 2.5 years, something like that. Most of my time has been at Synergy. And although I always knew that service was important, because to me, like, it's important in my personal life in every area. I really never truly knew what it meant until I came over here to Synergy. And you and Kyle have it taught me so much, man. And the way we have structured everything, I think, is really what makes us successful. We're not a typical cradle to grave brokerage. Like, we have everything compartmentalized. Everyone has a specific job, a specific function. This is what you do. We have bookers, we have trackers, we have lead teams, account managers. Like, everything has its own place, and everyone does their thing at a certain time, but everyone talks. And I like that, because you talk about data, when you were talking about your other companies. And I think that us having all that allows us to gather data from all of our different functions and departments, and feed that back to our customers. And everything that you have said about setting expectations, holding your customers accountable, I do that. And I learned that from y'all. I have customers. We had a load this past weekend, man, where the delivery address changed, and we sent it to the carrier, and they went to that address, and they said, hey, this isn't right. Go down the road to this place. And long story short, ended up costing them a few hours. And I told my customer, hey, like, this guy's gonna end up having a layover. He missed this. Like, we need to give him extra money. And they did. I have customers, dude, when detention comes up. I've said this before, Dylan. I don't think I've ever said it to you, but I don't ask my customers if they paid attention. Like, I just don't. I mean, I'm not trying to be a prick, but it's like, you're going to pay that. Like, like, that carrier
part of the game.
is due that money. And I've never had someone say no, but I set that expectation, and I provide that service that, like, I don't get pushback. I mean, the contract that I award today, man, got awarded today, it's supposed to be for a 26, but he said, hey, around the holidays, it may be a 53-footer. And I said, okay, well, it may be a little more, but I'm willing to take the loss. Dude, Bill, I mean, from there, came straight out and said, Rob, don't worry about it, man. If we got to pay another $100-200, he's like, just let me know. We'll get it taken care of. You're worth it. And that's part of that customer success. I built that relationship, set that standard, and with that customer, Dylan, I mean, dude, we stay at a 97-98% across the board for them. So
and that's where we're strong, right? Is on the last minute same day stuff, which not a lot of brokers are. We'll come in the day and we'll have half a page of freight on the board, and halfway through the day I look down, I'm like, holy shit, we covered 60 loads already today. Like, we didn't even,
my ass this afternoon, Dylan.
We didn't even have half that to start the day, and it's all same day stuff.
Dude, our team is the clinch team.
I set up a customer today at 2:00, took payment from them at 2:15, and booked their load at 2:20. The customer was literally like, what? Like, what do you mean you already have a truck coming in? And I'm like, dude, he's on his way. Like, I don't know. Like, it worked. You know what I mean? And not to say that that's everyone. You know what I mean? He was on the same page as us because I set the expectations. And I'm very monotone with customers. I don't get excited. I don't get mad. I'm busy, and like, that's worked for me. That's kind of how I've set, tell me what I need to know, and they're like, all right, this guy knows, like, he sounds busy, and it's a lot of it is how you portray yourself, and, making, sure that your customers are comfortable and confident with you. If they tender you a load and you're like, yeah, I'll get to work on it, and I'll let you know what I hear. It's, they're probably not going to want to tender you a load versus the guy that's like, hey, man, on it, got 3 people calling on trucks right now. I'll let you know what we get. You know what I mean? I'll let you know when it's covered in the ETA. It's just a completely different experience. So And customers hear that stuff on the phone and via, text or email, whatever it is. And yeah, Robert, like Synergy, but Kyle and I basically structured Synergy as a large enterprise team. And we have our set departments, set roles within those departments. We have shifts coming in to make sure that we cover for, East Coast morning, Central morning, West Coast morning, and to end the day, East Coast, Central, West as well, to make sure that we have coverage for all of our customers that are in, different regions. And it takes pre-planning, you know what I mean? And understanding what account managers work better with what customers. You know what I mean? And matching guys up that way. I have a couple guys from Pakistan, on my account management side, and like the guys, the Middle Eastern dudes that are customers, they get along great. You know what I mean? And they're able to build those relationships and get more freight that way. You know what I mean? So like playing people to their strengths, play your own strengths. Like if you're a Southern guy and you've got a Southern accent, like don't be calling anybody in the West Coast. You know what I mean? Like call the good old boys down in the South. Go Charleston, like Greensboro, North Carolina, like down in Texas. Like these are places that are hot for freight. Dalton, Georgia. You know what I mean? Like can't get load out of Dalton, Georgia. But yeah, play to your strengths. If you know stuff in the Northeast and you have contacts out of there, play to that. If you know tree people, awesome. Christmas tree season's right around the corner. They're going to start pumping out, like if you're prospecting, that's why I'd be prospecting Christmas trees.
I have done Christmas trees one year.
If you're getting started, man, and you need freight, it's a good place to start.
It is. I will say it is. I mean, this is me speaking. There are certain things that are not for seasoned brokers, and I feel
lumber,
like
obviously, yeah.
One of those.
If you're getting your feet wet and just trying to learn the ins and outs of things, and you don't want to, jeopardize a relationship with a huge customer, great place to start.
Yeah. No, only reason I don't like them, Dylan, is, and obviously this is, man, I get this from Kyle, man, and from here is it's really competitive. It's 20 to 30 other brokers and stuff, man.
Yeah, it's a race to the bottom.
Yeah, it is. So it's just something, one of those things I don't mess with. But
yeah.
I'll go
finding
back.
your niche. You know what I mean? Like you have like reefer box trucks.
Yeah.
And
I love reefer box truck. I love box truck freight, period, bro.
Oh man, I love it too. I love it. Man. But hey guys, I've got like I want to open up the floor. Any questions, anything like that? I've got like 10-15 minutes left. I'm going on 9:30 my time, and I got to be up at 5 to start this train.
We'll just let you go, Dylan. I mean, dude, Wednesday isn't really hopping. I mean, I see there's some.
Yeah, no worries. And if anybody ever has any questions, I'm on LinkedIn. Feel free to add me on there. Shoot me a question. I'm always down to connect or whatever. And appreciate you guys listening to me talk for 45 minutes.
Man, I appreciate you coming on, Dylan. I always love talking to you, period, man. Like you were just an encyclopedia of knowledge in this, man. And like you and I've been both in this industry for a while. You've got 10 or 11, I've got 16, but all of mine is more on the carrier, carrier side of transit management, and yours is on the brokerage 3PL sales side. So, man, like I always love talking to you, man. I always get knowledge from you that I didn't have before, man.
No, I appreciate it, man. And it's good. And, I hope everybody learns something and can take something away from this, and Robert can, elaborate a little bit more after I'm out of here and stuff. But if you guys take anything away from it, it's you guys can make a successful life for yourself in this industry. But it takes hard work, and you got to put in the hours and find a niche. Find a niche. That is how you are going to separate yourself from the others. If you're just calling down random lists of random shit and trying to bring on customers that you don't care about and don't matter to you, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle for a long, long time. The people that I've seen have success in this industry they've taken that advice and they've run with it. And one of these dudes, his name is Scott. He came on to OPL, no logistics experience, and all he did was really listen to exactly like what I told you guys to do with customers right now, and like hit the phones, and all he did was hit food customers and reefer customers, and like that dude is one of the most successful people, one of the most successful sales guys in this industry, and he's only been doing this for 3 or 4 years. Another one of the most successful people that I've seen do this was OD stuff and project-based freight, and like found his niche and like exploited it. You know what I mean? Like found some people shipping big ass water pumps, and he was like, "I'm good at this." Like, there's probably a lot of people shipping these big ass water pumps, right? And like, sure enough, there is. And you know what? They're really expensive, and they don't care how much it costs to ship their freight. You know, so like, it's finding a niche, finding something that you like. For me, it was food as well. You know, for a couple of our guys, it's you know, turf or like artificial grass, or whether it's a type of freight. You know, like Robert has reefer box truck. You know, target people that move reefer box truck, or he might be moving partial freight, target people that move partial freight, and most likely we're moving box truck, so or full truck. So finding your niche, whether it be a vertical or an equipment type, like that's my advice. And then just really hone in on that, focus in on it. And like don't forget in the sales cycle, like it takes an average of 12 touches with one customer to get a shipment. 12. And that's 12 different contacts on different days.
Mute your mic, Hunter. Is that you, Hunter?
So
yeah,
it's a numbers game.
What, Hunter?
So
fucking Hunter.
Good luck to you all.
We're gonna kick that son of a bitch off the show, man. Fucking Hunter.
Yeah, good luck, buddy.
You guys take it easy tonight, Robert. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bro. I'll talk to you tomorrow at work.
Yep, I'll see you guys. You guys take it easy. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Dylan.
Good having you, Dylan. Thank you.
Bye. So, to just wrap everything up, like Dylan was saying, you know, he's got you know, three things that he talks about or that he cares about when it comes to service, you know, and it's, you know, communication and solutions and shit. What was the other one? Fuck, I forgot. Either way,
service solutions and communication.
Yeah, service solutions and communication. There you go. You know, basically do what you say and say what you do. You know, communicate with your customer. You know, if you have a problem, let them know. If you can't cover something, let them know. You know, if there's a holdup or a hiccup or a setback, whatever you want to say, let them know. You know, be real with them on the rates. And you know, I'm one of these people. I'm not afraid to go back to my customer and ask for more money. A lot of people say, "Oh, take that loss." Fuck that. I am not taking a loss if I don't have to. You know, now sometimes you rate stuff off. You know, and the difference is $500, and you know, I won't go to my customer and ask for 500. So sometimes I will take a little loss. But you know, point is you talk to them about things, man. Explain to them, let them know what's going on, let them know where their freight is, when it's picked up, when it's delivered, you know, if there are any OS&D. If you have claims, something we do, we handle claims for our customers. You know, that's another level of service that we provide. Like Dylan said, we have people on truly 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Every single holiday, whether it's America, Canada, Mexico, we are always staffed, and that's something else that our customers love. They know that they can reach out to me or email our ops team or someone on our customer success team, ask a question and get an answer, you know, in a short amount of time. So those things are what really makes customer success and why it should be a part of what you're doing. You know, everybody talks about service, but you know, what you're service doesn't mean the same thing to everybody. Some people just think it means answering emails quickly and, you know, being able to pick a load up on time and deliver it on time. And yeah, those are part of it, but it's a lot more deeper subject than just what you see on the surface. And it's just something that you learn over time. Like I told Dylan, you know, I didn't know what service really meant until I got over here and saw the way that our boss, Kyle, has our company set up and how he continues to change things to make our operations better, you know, not just for our customers, but also for our carriers. And we actually have a carrier success team too, to, track all the accessories that go to carriers, detentions and layovers and any problems that they've encountered, to make sure that we're doing the best that we can for them as well, because they are a part of our success for our customer, having good carriers that pick up and deliver on time and, communicate with us and don't damage our shit. And so, yeah, there's a lot of it goes into it. And I'm glad Dylan was able to come on and talk about it. I hope for those of you who didn't get to see it, go back and watch a little bit of it. Dylan really got into talking around the 30-minute mark. The first bit of it was more of a background and shooting the shit covering a news article. So maybe that'll help you so you don't have to go back and watch the entire hour. But Hunter, do you have anything that you want to end with, homie, or what?
Nah, brother. That was glad to have Dylan on, man. That's pretty much it. Don't try to be Superman. Don't try to fix things, man. Just talk to your customers. Be yourself. And that's the moral of the story right there. That's the best way to keep business, because they have heard it all. Don't try to bullshit. So then you'll just end up as one of those stories.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And you'll end up being someone they don't want to do business with for very long. So to end it, Friday, we're going to have on the Big J, Jason Rabin.
I can't
wait to talk to that clown. So we will see everybody Friday, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. That's definitely our more chill show. We will usually go for 2 hours. We'll be drinking beer, talking shop, talking shit, just living the logistics dream. Hunter, it's always a pleasure. I will catch you and Chadley in our group chat. And with that, I will say, chunk the deuces.